The One Who Had the Daylight. Story by Elijah Kakinya from the Niayuq book. Animated and read by Qaġġun and Niayuq.
Our first ancestors among the Niayuq, it is said, had a world without daylight like our night now. The people's chief had two lights, a big bright one and a not so bright one.
When the one who had the daylight left with one of his lights, the people used to follow him, sometimes to go hunting. When they gathered wood, they tested it by licking the dry wood and the green wood. When it stuck to their tongues, they didn't use it. When it didn't stick, they used it as firewood.
They used to follow those who had the daylight when they went out for firewood or for meat. The chief never lent daylight out. Only his daughter and wife could use it. Those people had a hard time looking for things in the dark, such as when they were trying to find rocks for heating.
Once the daughter went to fetch water, taking along the dimmer light. Raven was with those people, and he turned into a piece of down, for he had decided to try to make daylight. As soon as she brought out that light, the other women went to fetch water too. The women waited for her to fill her wooden bucket, circling her to get water too.
When the woman had filled her bucket, she wanted to drink. When she filled her dipper, she saw a piece of down in it. Blowing at the down, she tipped the dipper until it was empty. When she would fill the dipper and start to drink, it would already have down in it. She dipped it again, but the down was there again, so she drank it while it was in her dipper, drinking the down together with the water.
Then the other women filled their buckets, and she waited for them. As soon as she had him in her mouth, Raven entered her womb. Then the woman became pregnant with a fatherless child. Without her knowing it, the baby was conceived. She became pregnant and gave birth to a boy.
When his daughter had the fatherless baby, the owner of daylight became very fond of his little grandchild. Being very fond of his grandchild, the grandfather used to hold him on his lap. When he grew up and became able to talk, the baby started to cry. For he wanted to play with daylight.
Then grandfather let him play with the dimmer light, and when he was through playing, the child gave it back to his grandfather. When he became able to play outdoors, he started to cry again, wanting to play outdoors. The grandfather at first refused, but then he gave the light to his little grandchild, since he was fond of him.
Then the baby took it out and tried to burst it. When he tried to burst it, it would give off flashes of light. Finally, trying again, he managed to burst it. Daylight burst upon the whole world.
Then the chief, the owner of the daylight, said, "There will always be daylight, and there will always be night too." And so then we had daylight. Those people started to hunt immediately.